thank you all for being here today. Muchísimas gracias a todos de ustedes para asistir a esta reunión. My name is Robert Lundin. I serve as Executive Director for Communications and Special Projects of the Adams 14th School District. Me llamo Roberto Lundin y soy el Director Ejecutivo de Comunicaciones y Proyectos Especiales por el Distrito Escolar de Adams 14. We're pleased to convene this press conference following today's hearings of the Colorado State Board of Education. We're going to have the opportunity for you to hear directly from our superintendent, from our council, and we have represented here today members of the Adams 14 Board of Education. We thank you for your flexibility today. We had expected to be convening several hours prior, but it has been a full and action-packed day at the Capitol. But I believe I speak for all of us on this side of the cameras when I say a really good day for the children and families of Adams 14 and Commerce City. So in our opinion, it was worth the wait. And we are excited to share with you the results that came out of today's discussion that brought together the efforts of our superintendent, our Board of Education, our general counsel, and all of the members of the Adams 14 faculty and staff team. We know we have outlets here that are both Spanish and English speaking outlets. For that purpose, we have multiple bilingual speakers here. As you heard Dr. Luria say in today's hearing, we consider being linguistically gifted the term for our bilingual folks. I'm proud to be one of them, as well as many of the folks here. So if your outlet prefers a response in Spanish, please feel free to specify that. We will do so. If you prefer a response in English, same thing. And for those of you that are on the other side, we will make sure that you get the response that you need. We will also be available after the press conference if any outlets would require any additional one-on-one questioning to supplement for your newscasts or any other reporting that you're doing. On arrival, you should have hopefully received two tools. One of them is a black thumb drive. This contains the presentation documents that were shared today to the State Board, as well as the documentation and evidence materials that were shared with the State Board. Those are public record, but we wanted you to have them in one dedicated place. As well as, if you've not already received one, you should have a blue Adams 14 folder that has today's documents in hard copy and should hopefully paint a fuller picture of both the message that was shared with the State Board, as well as how we are excited to move forward from here. With that, I'd like to turn the floor over to our superintendent, Dr. Carla Luria, who can summarize today's hearing and outcomes and where we go next as a district. Dr. Carla Luria.
Buenas tardes. Casi ya. Mi nombre es Dr. Carla Loría. Estoy extremadamente satisfecha, orgullosa y emocionada por el resultado del día de hoy. Creo que demuestra no solo el gran trabajo de nuestro equipo, la visión fuerte de nuestra junta directiva, nuestra junta de educación, y la dedicación de todos nuestros maestros, de todos nuestros directores, de toda la facultad de Adams 14. Y también el deseo de la Junta Directiva del Estado de trabajar con nosotros y de escucharnos. Sumamente contenta y emocionada. Tenemos mucho trabajo por delante, pero lo vamos a lograr. I'm extremely, extremely excited, proud, and also emotional even about the outcomes that we received after a long day. I believe it demonstrates not only the dedication of this strong team, but also the commitment of a very strong and united Board of Education that has set the pathway for standing for what is right, standing for our children. And I believe also speaks about the commitment of our teachers, of our staff, of our principals, of every single member of our of Adams 14. that we are here for the children, we're standing for them, and we will continue doing so. We have a lot of work to do. I am extremely excited that the State Board of Education demonstrated today a genuine interest in hearing from us. We haven't had this opportunity the entire year. 10 minutes, we were in front of them in September. And they demonstrated today a genuine interest in getting to know us, to hear from us, and they allowed us to tell our own story. Creo que evidencia de la Junta Directiva del Estado, la Junta de Educación, fue evidencia de que quieren trabajar con nosotros, fue el hecho de que genuinamente quisieron escucharnos, genuinamente hicieron preguntas y estoy sumamente feliz y emocionada de trabajar con ellos para nuestros niños. Gracias. I don't know if there's any questions that you may have.
Yeah, any outlets that wish to raise a question, just raise your hand and identify yourself.
Rob Harrison, Denver 7. Can you talk about how, when you were crafting the improvement plan, you came to the decision that having partial management firm come in would be a good way to go?
That actually came as a result of many conversations, not only with the local board, but also with cabinet and members of the community and administrators across the district. Turnaround, like I said during the presentation many times, turnaround is difficult. I said it over and over. It requires an entire team. It requires a whole village. And I would not be, although I have been doing in work around turnaround for over 20 years, I know, and maybe because I've been doing it this long, I know I cannot do it by myself. So we need partners, true partners, that will come in, roll up their sleeves with us, and work for our children alongside us. So based on the options that they gave us, this was the one that was feeding us, and that would, if, and we were allowed to, but if we were considered to have a partial management, having a very strong and clear contract with them, an agreement with them, nothing will be shady or gray in there, I can assure you of that. But having a clear contract and scope of work will definitely help us as a district and help our students. So it was a no-brainer just to say we need assistance, we just need the right assistance. We need to collaborate, we just need to collaborate on the right things for our students.
Jason Gonzalez, Chucky. How do you feel about the timeline for the turnaround? What are your thoughts on that?
It's a little aggressive. We have 6 weeks before we can bring a different or a very detailed plan. But I think the board was very clear, and it's been a long road for our kids. So it is aggressive, but we are up to the task and the challenge. We will deliver. We will engage the community. After the presentation, actually, I already connected with community members. We're meeting on Tuesday. We're doing this, and Annie's going to send you an email. We are up to the challenge. We will deliver. It is aggressive, but it is doable. We'll make it work.
Ahorita si vas a Univisión, si me regala esa respuesta también en español y también, if you don't mind, give me that answer as well in Spanish. And also, how do you feel, how does the whole board feel about the decision of having 2 companies, management instead of one? ¿Cómo se siente saber de que va a haber dos firmas de consultoría en vez de una?
¿Quieres la respuesta que le di a él primero? La pregunta acerca de cómo nos sentimos o cómo me siento de la fecha límite. Tenemos como 6 semanas para trabajar en el plan. Es bastante agresivo, un tiempo bastante limitado para genuinamente hacer que todos participen en la comunidad, todas las personas que están interesadas en tener un plan. pero a la vez también escuché muy claramente a la Junta de Educación del Estado que esto ha pasado por tantos años, nuestros niños han sido, no han sido beneficiados por décadas y no quieren que perdamos el tiempo. Así que entiendo eso. Yo también creo que hay un gran sentido de urgencia para tener este plan, bastante agresivo, pero ya nos pusimos a trabajar, ya tenemos reuniones para la semana entrante, ya vamos a traer a todas las personas interesadas para organizarnos cómo continuar con el plan y vamos a dar un plan fuerte para nuestros niños. Y la segunda pregunta.
Es de tener dos firmas de consultoría, oficialmente manejándolos si se llega a aprobar.
Voy a también a volver a escuchar toda la conversación que ellos hicieron. En algún momento hubo alguna confusión de cuántos managers íbamos a tener. La manera como yo la veo es inclusive una persona que puede trabajar y ayudarnos a nivel del distrito, puede también estar trabajando a nivel de la escuela, puede ser un anexo a ellos. Tenemos que tener mucho cuidado de no crear conflicto, porque muchas compañías tienen maneras de hacer las cosas diferente. Tenemos que asegurarnos de que cualquier persona, cualquier organización que venga a ayudarnos esté alineado con las necesidades del distrito y tenemos que organizarnos para no crear más conflicto en las escuelas.
Muchas gracias.
Can we give that in English as well? Someone else?
So the question was about how do we feel about having two different companies or two different managers for the schools. So to be quite frank, there were so many discussions around that moment that I'm going to go back and listen again to exactly what they said so I can have clarity on what the work is ahead. But the way that I'm taking it is if we have a manager, a partial manager, or moving on, I'm going to call them a partner because they will be a partner. So if we have a partial partner that will come and support us as a district, it can be some addition, an annex or a branch to that organization or group that will be supporting us as partners. It could be another one, if that is the direction. What I want to make sure everybody hears is we will be very strategic on who we bring. We will have clarity on what kind of work they're going to be doing with the schools, because we cannot create conflict. We cannot create different ways of doing things or mixed messages for the schools or principals, because then we're going to make it worse. So we will be very strategic, very careful on who we bring, the scope of the work that they will be doing, and ensuring that all work is going to be supplemental of each other and aligned with the key performance indicators that we identify, and not against those key performance indicators.
Forgive me, a little new to covering this. Is it your responsibility to find the partner? Is that how this works? You guys go out and find that person and bring it to the state and say, is this okay?
Can we ask which outlet, where you're from?
9 News.
Sorry.
Jennifer with 9 News.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, it is the responsibility. There is a process. We go through an RFQ. We actually did that already. We started probably about 6 weeks ago.
February 23rd was launched.
February 23rd, 2 weeks after the authority was restored to the district. So we go through a process. We engage the community. We have had actually several meetings with community members, with the board, with everyone who was interested in participating to get to know the candidate that we have. We have one organization that participated, and we are going through the process with them. After that, then it's my responsibility as a superintendent to present it to the local board for final approval, and they will make the final decision.
One of the themes we were hearing from the board today is that they're going to be looking for specifics with this plan to approve it, and specifically the authority that this partner is going to have. So what areas do you see them taking the lead here within the district?
I think it's a great question because it's learning from the mistakes that were done in the past. In the past, there was no clarity on what we knew was a full authority, but there was no clarity on how then the transferring of the authority was going to go back. When I was hired in the spring of last year to start in the summer, it was part of a plan that I kept asking for it to start transitioning that authority back to the district. But there was no pathway, there was no clarity, there was no understanding of who was going to be doing what, and I kept asking for that plan. So learning from that, because it certainly did not work, I think it's very wise on behalf of the State Board to ask for those details. What they're going to be over and what authority they're going to have, it will be premature for me to say that. What I can tell you is that they will not be over finance. That will remain at the board level.
Can we get that in Spanish? I'm sorry.
I'm trying to remember what I said so that I can share everything in Spanish.
De nuestra,
Sí. De qué cosas van a estar a cargo de la organización, qué van a tener autoridad y qué no. Creo que fue muy sabio de parte de la Junta de Educación del Estado pedir detalles de qué iba a ser parte de la responsabilidad del socio que vamos a tener, qué va a ser parte de la responsabilidad de nosotros, porque la experiencia fue de que cuando vino MGT, ellos tenían autoridad sobre todo, pero a los 2 años, cuando yo fui contratada, era porque el plan que ellos tenían, que no estaba por escrito, que no era claro, el plan era de que esa autoridad iba a ser traspasada poco a poco al distrito. Ahí fue cuando yo empecé a preguntar quién va a hacer esto, quién va a hacer el otro, y me di cuenta que no había un plan claramente escrito. Aprendimos de ese error y creo que por eso digo que la Junta del Estado fue muy sabia en pedir detalles. ¿De qué va a estar a cargo esta compañía y de qué vamos a estar a cargo nosotros? Sería un poco prematuro de mí decirlo porque esto es una colaboración, conversaciones con la Junta local que tenemos que tener, pero lo que sí le puedo decir es que ellos no van a estar a cargo de las finanzas del distrito. Eso lo aprendimos.
Superintendente Sergio Telemundo, en algún momento durante esta conversación, ¿verdad?, que duró varias horas, se discutió un poco sobre continuar esas conversaciones directas con el Departamento de Educación de Colorado. ¿Qué opina sobre eso y de aprobarse estos planes que ustedes van a tener que presentar? ¿Van a continuar peleando por esas conversaciones directas con el Departamento de Educación?
Absolutamente sí. Porque de hecho una de las cosas que nuestra Junta local ha estado pidiendo y que nosotros hemos estado pidiendo es, oiga nuestra historia, déjenos contar nuestra propia historia. Creo que la data que se les ha estado pasando a ellos durante todos estos meses ha sido una data muy selectiva, que en realidad cuenta una historia que no es la historia completa, y hoy por primera vez, en los 9 meses que tengo de estar aquí, hoy por primera vez sentimos que pudimos contar nuestra historia, que pudimos contar y quiénes somos y qué es lo que nuestra comunidad desea. Creo que es una excelente idea que podamos venir a ellos. Creo que la Junta del Estado ha dicho, probablemente tenemos que oír de ellos directamente, y me parece una excelente idea. So the question was about what is our thinking or feeling about having these quarterly meetings with the board, and what are the thoughts about that. So I actually think it's a great idea. All these years since I was hired 9 months ago, the only opportunity that we have had in front of them is 10 minutes. And I believe that the State Board has realized that it is important for them to hear directly from us. They have been hearing a story that we have not been able to tell. Somebody else is telling the story. Somebody else has been pulling the data, which is skewed in the sense that although it's the right data, it does not tell the entire story because it's selected with a deficit mindset. And today, for the first time, we were able to sit for a long time. It was a long day, but every minute was worth it. It was the first time that we are actually able to sit with them and have a genuine conversation without feeling the pressure that the clock is up, time is up. And the fact that we are going to be able to go back every quarter, I think is a great idea because it tells also how much the State Board is willing to meet us where we are, to get to know us, and to hear what our plans so that they can also provide assistance. Yes, sir.
How do you plan to work with the city and the county to help you reach those goals? Because the county's going to grow, the city's continuing to grow, and they asked the question on why all of a sudden we lost kids. The leadership of Commerce City left this area. The minute that they started building homes up north, they started an exit from the mayor on down the line. And at the same time, the kids that are now in District 14, off of 120th, they say share with other districts and open, okay? They are taking funds away from this district just because they live across the street from a high school. That's where some of these kids are going, okay? And the exodus, again, it's the people that are moving in that has left this area abandoned in a sense and taken away from, and yes, there's choice there, but our schools are also have choice because there's needs depending on which area Old Commerce City, District 14 needs.
So I believe that how are we going to work with the county and the commissioners and the city? I think we need to lock arms and elbows with them and work together. It truly takes the whole village to do this kind of work. It is difficult. And with the funding that we receive here in Colorado, we certainly do not have the funds to bring all the supports that our students need. So that forces, in a way, which is a good thing, to collaborate and to work and partner with resources that are available in our community, are available in our county, and figure out together how to better serve our families and our students. I believe that we have some students leaving the district. I appreciate choice. I believe in choice. I believe that we need to get really good at what we're doing so that we can also attract students. That doesn't mean that we're not attracting students right now. So there is the normal choice. Some choose to go out. Some others of our students are choosing to come from outside of our district. We have an area in our district that we are not serving. It's way up north. We let go of a piece of land a few years back. And I think that was a little close-minded, but whatever the reason was, we lost that parcel there. So all those new developments that are happening up in the north, we do not have a school. So for families, it is much more convenient to go just down the road to their school, that across the city, railroads, etc., to our schools. So I believe that part of that work with the city and the county is going to be to try to find land there so that we can also work with BEST grants and with the government to, in the state, to build a school there so that we can serve our students. If we are not having schools there, they have no other choice but to go elsewhere. ¿En español? ¿También? La pregunta era cómo vamos a trabajar con la ciudad, con el condado. y acerca del éxodo que se mencionó que tenemos de nuestros niños. Yo soy una persona que creo que este trabajo es sumamente difícil, no lo podemos hacer solos, y con el dinero que las escuelas reciben aquí en Colorado, que es terriblemente bajo comparado con otros estados, creo que eso nos fuerza de alguna manera, que no es malo colaborar, por supuesto, pero nos fuerza el bajo soporte económico que tenemos del Estado a trabajar en conjunto con nuestro condado, con nuestra ciudad, para asegurarnos de que los recursos que están disponibles puedan ser traídos a las escuelas. Así que vamos a trabajar con ellos. Parte del problema del éxodo de estudiantes que tenemos es que en el norte de nuestro distrito, de nuestras fronteras de distrito, hace muchos años teníamos una propiedad ahí y la dejamos ir. Un poco por cualquier razón que sea, ahora nos damos cuenta de que con los nuevos desarrollos de viviendas que hay ahí no podemos servir a los niños. En realidad se van porque no les dejamos otra opción. Porque ellos solamente cruzan la frontera de nuestro distrito y ya tienen otra escuela de distritos vecinos. Así que creo que tenemos también que trabajar con la ciudad para tratar de adquirir una propiedad ahí y construir una escuela y poder servir a nuestros niños. Thank you.